Hey, my name is Shelly and this is my channel, Shell Space. So today's video is going to be a series update video. I try to stay on track of my series and update them on a Google spreadsheet. So I thought I would just go through it since it is the end of the year and I kind of want to clean things up, work on series, maybe get rid of some series that I'm not like crazy about. So I'm just going to go through this real quick because I don't want it to be an hour-long video, and we'll just go over what I'm reading, what I'm currently reading in the middle of, and my reread plans. I just did it by author, so it's alphabetical order by author. So obviously Joe Abercrombie is #1. First Law, I am working my way through that. Next book to read is The Last Argument of Kings. And then obviously I have 7 more books after that. I really love the audiobooks, but I've been waiting for the audiobook to come in from my library for like 3 months now, and there has been no progress on it. So like I'm still stuck at the same number I was, which kind of drives me nuts. And I'm really tempted to buy the audiobook, but I don't know. I know that lots of people will say the first trilogy is a solid trilogy, but then afterwards, that's when things get good. So we'll see, but I really wanted to complete it by 2023 and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So early 2024, I will be reading The Last Argument of Kings. I'm also really bad at pronouncing names. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm dyslexic, so reading names out loud is really difficult sometimes, unless it's like a John Smith or something really simple. It's hard. So then my next one is Chelsea Abdullah's the Sand Trilogy, Sea Sand Trilogy. And so the next one is The Ashfire King. The first one was The Stardust Thief, and it was a solid book. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with it. It was basically a reimagining of Aladdin, but like if Aladdin was a female. It was fun. It was fine, but I could see that book being like the start of a really awesome series. I don't know if it's a trilogy. It probably is a trilogy, but I can see it being a really awesome series. So I don't know. Unfortunately, the Ashfire King has been pushed back. It was supposed to come out in the fall, but it is now not coming out until spring 2024. So I will hopefully be picking it up then. Zach Argyle's Threadlight Trilogy. I have to read Stones of Light. I will be honest, I think I'm going to have to reread this series because it's been so long since I read the first one. I feel like I just need to reread The Voice of War. And they're pretty short books, but they're really solid books. And I recommend it to anybody because it's a very accessible read. The War of the Lost Hearts by Chris Broadbent. The next book I have to read is Mother of Death and Dawn. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this series. There's so many books out there that I really want to read, and I'm not loving this series as much as I really wanted to. So, and it's big. It's so big. So I don't know. I don't know. That may be like kept in my like TBR pile for when I'm feeling the need for romantasy. But then if I'm feeling romantasy, sometimes I would prefer starting a new series. So I don't know. That may be on the DNF pile, so we'll see. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have to finish Lightbringer. I have a very tumultuous relationship with Pierce Brown. I think that his writing is really awesome, really beautiful. Like, well, I mean, as beautiful as you can be in a very grim, dark world. His character's work is really awesome. Like, I'm very particular about first-person narrative, and for this one, I felt like it just didn't really click with it. But I do like the world. I am invested in it. I think I just needed to take a big break after Dark Age because Dark Age was a really difficult book for me to read. I think it literally took me 3 tries to finish it. So I will be finishing that eventually. Maybe I will like kind of wait till like the last book in the series comes out and then I'll read it on so I have it fresh in my mind. So yes, Lightbringer. The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill. I have Darkness of Light here, but I feel like I need to reread the first 2 books. So that is, oh God, I can't remember the name of them. And then The Fall, which is the prequel novella. I think I have to reread them because I started Of Darkness and Light and I'm like, wait, who's that? Where are we? What's happening? I listened to the audiobook and it was one of those times where the audiobook maybe just didn't sink in. So I think maybe those are the eyes only reads. And honestly, I've been craving that like complex multi-character fantasy lately, so maybe I will prioritize that, but I have so many books to read. I mean, if you saw my 2024 series for 2024, it's 24 series that I want to read. I gotta really like evaluate what I want to read. Wesley Chu's War Arts Saga. For some reason, this is all out of order. Oh, crap. The next book that I have to read is Art of Prophecy. Oh, no, Art of Destiny. Art of Prophecy was the first one, and I really loved it. It was on one of my top 10 of this year, so I'm really excited to continue on with it. I'm kind of pushing back reading it with anticipation with his next book, the third book coming out in the series. And please let me know, is this a trilogy? Is it a series? I need to know, because I want to know if I'm being invested for the long haul. I need to know. James S.R. Corey's The Expanse, Cibola's Burn. Expanse was one of my favorite TV shows, but I did not really connect with the book series as much. But the way that the TV series ended, it was a very unsatisfying ending. So I want to push on through the books to see how it actually ends according to the authors, because I do love these characters. I do love this world. So honestly, that really should be a priority. Everything's a priority. Everything's a priority. So yeah, that is I think that's number 5 in the series. Okay, John Gwynne. I've not read The Hunger of the Gods yet. And honestly, it's been such a long time that I think I need to reread The Shadow of the Gods. So yeah, I'm planning to do that as soon as they announce when the third book is coming out. I'm going to prioritize reading those closer to that date. Elizabeth Haden's Symphony of Ages, Destiny, which I'm currently reading right now. This is a 9-book series. Very underrated. High fantasy with romance and lots of awesome world building. So yes, I'm currently reading Destiny and I like it. Realm of the Elderling by Robin Hobb. I am stuck at Fool's Fate. I think I'm one of the few people that don't love the series. The Live Ship Trader trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all, series of all time. I think it was probably number 1 right now, because I loved that series so much. It was one of those things where I read it at the perfect time. But I do not, like I mentioned before, I do not like first-person narrative, especially when it's like the main character telling their story. I know that everybody loves the series, and I can totally understand why. It is so well written. The characters are so beautifully developed, and the world is so interesting, and I do love the magic system, and everything about it is just, Fitz drives me crazy. I'm sorry. Fitz drives me crazy, but I do love the Fool, and I do love a lot of the characters, but yes, I have to push through this final book to now go on to the Rainwild Chronicles, which I heard is not the best, but maybe I'll have an unpopular opinion of actually liking it. The Lycanius Trilogy by James Islington. I have to read The Echoes of Things to Come. This is one of the occasions where I was listening to the audiobook and I hated it. I am not a fan of the audiobook narrator. Yeah, I just feel like that narrator is a little bit too mature to be reading for teenagers. That's just my personal opinion. I know he's a beloved narrator and I know a lot of people love him, and I'm happy for you. It's just for me, I couldn't get behind it. So for me, I put it down, and I have been postponing it because I have to read it eyes only, and that book is thick, and then I heard that you have to read both of them together. So I think I'm just waiting for a perfect time, but maybe since I am feeling that epic fantasy feel, I might prioritize this sooner than later. Mark Lawrence, The Book of the Ice. I have to read The Girl of Mountain. I read The Girl of the Stars earlier this year and thought it was a really, really good book. Honestly, so underrated. I know a lot of people love Red Sister and that trilogy. I cannot remember the name of it, but this one has more of a sci fantasy feel to it. I love that. I love his writing. He's becoming one of my favorite authors right now. So I have to read The Girl of the Mountain, and I've been waiting till it got cold and snowy so I could pick it up and feel the atmosphere. The Library Trilogy, also by Mark Lawrence. The Book That Wouldn't Break the World, and I believe that's coming out in the spring of 2024, and I will definitely be pre-ordering that and reading it the moment it comes out. This one's a hard one. Fonda Lee, The Greenbone Saga. I have to finish it, and all I have to do is read Jade Legacy. And I know everybody loves it, but I just don't. I can totally appreciate the series. I think it's very well written. I understand completely why people love it. But for me, it's not for what I like to read. I think it's more like what I like to watch. Like, if someone gave me a book of Succession, the show, and said, read this, I couldn't read it. But I was glued to the TV show. So do you know what I mean? Some things I just like watching, some things I like reading. And those are the one things that I think I would rather watch it. Alex Stern by Leigh Bardugo. Unnamed sequel. to Hellbent, so I will be reading that. I just finished Hellbent a couple weeks ago and loved it, so I need to continue on. So the next one, I'm up to date on that. Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy by Shisha and Liu. The next one I have to read is Dark Forest. That is on my TBR pile, and I will be reading it soon. I have the audiobook for it, and the audiobook is really good if anybody's interested. The Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. So I have Wall of Storms to read. I'm probably going to be reading that very soon. Same problem as Lycania's trilogy. I have to read it eyes only because of the narrator. Same narrator. I really am confused by that choice of narrator for the series, but it is what it is. So yes, I have to read this eyes only, and it is a thick book. So again, same thing as Lycania's trilogy. I have to just find the time. Gentleman Bastard by Scott Lynch. I have to read Red Sea Under Red Sky. I liked Liza Locke-Lamora. I liked it. I gave it 5 stars. But upon now that I've finished it, I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite. I understand why everybody loves it, but it's not my favorite. I think I would be more inclined to really get into it if the series was finished or the next book was announced to be released, but I heard that it's in the works. I mean, I'm gonna believe it as soon as it gets an actual release date. That's when I will believe it. So I will pick up Red Sea Under Red Skies probably, I don't know. I have no definite plans to pick it up. Ella McRae's Dragon Spirit series, I have to read Shadowgate, and that's my bad. I really need to pick it up. I need to order the paperback of it. It's an awesome self-pub series, really well written. The first one, The Iron Crown, was just so good. So freaking good. If you like dragons and spiritual elements, it's got a lot of things that I love. So yes, I have to pick up the Shadowgate. Okay, Ed McDonald's The Red Winter Chronicles. I have to pick up The Traitor of Red Winter. Again, it's one of those series that I was like, yeah, it's okay, but I don't know if I'm gonna love it. And honestly, there's so many other series that I love and I want to invest my time in that are thick, that I mentioned before. So this is one of on the back burner, but I do own it, so that will be that. Locked Tomb series by Tessa Tenzamir. I have to read Nona the Ninth. So same kind of thing. I'm just kind of waiting till the next book comes out. I can't remember the name of it, but it does have a release date, so I'm kind of waiting a little closer to pick it up. But yes, I did really love it. Confusing series. I have no idea. After 2 books, I'm still like, what is going on? So I'm hoping Nona the Ninth kind of doesn't make it more confusing. I think I want some questions answered. So I'm hoping Nona the Ninth answers some of those questions. But then I heard that it's completely different, so maybe it won't. Megan New O'Keefe's Devoured World series, The Fractured Dark. The Blighton Stars was also on my top 10 this year, and I own The Fractured Dark. But again, I think it's one of those things that I'm waiting for the last book to come out, so I'm kind of pacing it. So I will be reading that probably soonish. Rebecca Ronan Horse's Between Earth and Sky series, and I have to read The Favorite Star. Again, same thing. I'm just waiting for the next book to come out before I can pick up Favorite Star. I have heard people were a little disappointed by it, and I think that's why I haven't been in a desire to read it. But I think I also have to reread the entire series, so that's another task. But they're fairly small books, so I mean, it's not a big task. Christopher Rocchio, the Sun Eater series. I have to read Demon in White. I actually think I have to read one of the novellas, and I can't remember what it is. First person narrative, same thing. I like it. It should, essentially, it should be a favorite because of everything. It's space fantasy. I love, aliens, evil aliens. I love a lot of it, lightsaber swords. It's just, it has a lot that I should love. But again, it's first person narrative with a main character telling their story, and I have a problem with that. So I have talked about how maybe it's one of those books that I need to read physically. And again, it's a chunker. So, but lately I have been having a little bit of an itch being just continue on. So I have to read the novella and then read Demon in White. I actually started Demon in White and I stopped. So I have to reread it. But I'm going to read the novella first, so I'll put that one down. I can't remember which one it is. Brandon Sanderson's Skyward. I have to read Starsight. Honestly, it's just one of those series. It's a fun series, and I'm not really prioritizing it right now. I think once I finish The Mistborn and get caught up in the Cosmere, I will probably lean towards it. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the first one, but I heard that the third one was just terrible and nobody liked it. But then I heard the fourth one is better. It's one of those series that I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but it's not going to be a favorite, so it's not a priority. Sanderson again, Mistborn. I have to read The Lost Metal. So that's just, I read a lot of Sanderson this year, and I just need to take a big old break. So I'm probably going to read that probably in like midwinter-ish time. Sanderson again, Stormlight, Knights of Wind and Truth. Obviously, I'm just waiting for the release date, and I will be reading that upon release date, for sure. Michael J. Sullivan, Rise of Empire, Heir of Neveron. I just finished Rise of Empire, and I was like, lukewarm on it, but I'm really excited to finish this one. There's some questions that haven't been answered, and I really, really need to know the answer to them. So that is a kind of like a priority series. So yes, once that's done, I'll be caught up on that series, and then I have to pick up the next series. Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. Road Protocol. This is another one of those series that I'm just like, I like to read it in the background. So yeah, I kind of forgot about it for a little while, but yeah, I think I want to pick it up now, especially since the TV series has been announced and one of my favorite actors is going to be involved in it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. The last two are kind of out of order because they're recent additions, and that is Patricia Briggs' Marcy Thomas series. The next one I have to read is Bloodbound, and it's a 13-book urban fantasy series, so I'm keeping that in my repertoire for like when I'm feeling that urban fantasy itch. The next one that I'm currently reading is Daughter of the Empire, and I think it's called the Empire Trilogy by Raymond E. Feist and Jenny Wartz. I'm currently reading that right now, and my thoughts on that is for another video. So those are the books that I am like caught up on and in the middle of. I mentioned before I have to reread some series, so I'll just quickly go over those series. Chronicles of the Bitch Queen by K.S. Veloso. The first one being War of Iron Yarrow. I listened to the audiobook years and years ago. I forgot about it, so I just got to reread it. The Song of the Shattered Sands by Bradley P. I'm not even going to start this. This guy. 12 Kings of Sher Kai. I have to reread the same thing. I read it years ago. I totally forgot about it, so I got to reread it. Empire of the Vampire, J. Kristoff. Reread Empire of the Vampire for the next book that's coming out in February. I want to reread Nevernight because I listened to the audiobook and I did not get along with the audiobook very well. So I will probably be reading that physically because I think it's something that I will like physically reading. And then I mentioned before John Gwynn's Bloodsworn. I have to reread those, and Between Earth and Sky, I have to reread that one as well. That's a lot of series. I mean, that's like 32 series. I really need to take it down a couple. I'm so bad. And yet, I'm like, I want to start this series. I want to start this series. I mean, some of them I am caught up on, but yeah, majority of them I could probably knock out of the park and get down. Essentially, I would like to only have 20 series going on, so I have a lot of work cut out for me. So, wish me luck. Now we are caught up. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how many ongoing series you have. Make me feel a little bit better letting me know that you have as many as I have. So embarrassing. As always, you can find me on Instagram and Goodreads. I'm more active on Goodreads. I update my progress, you know, what I'm reading, my current thoughts, etc. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and Happy New Year. Bye.